What's up? Happy. Ordered these because I was trying to add a little bit of color to my wardrobe. Think I may have made a critical error. The only thing I'm missing today is property of the Department of Corrections on the back of this jacket. But still good times either way. I thought it was funny one way or the other. But now I'm covered in orange lint. Fun times. What's up, Kyler? All right, so let's talk here, guys. I've been struggling with some people, and I'm having to deal with in my life, namely some relatives who shall remain unnamed. But it's real difficult anytime you're dealing with family and stuff like that. It's really brought into mind for me, like the idea of the truth, what is truthful, what truth means, why it's important, all of these various factors in life. Now, the thing is that the truth is a non-negotiable concept. You either tell the truth or you don't. It's not about like, oh, well, I tell the truth when it's convenient, or I just, whatever. It doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. And one of my favorite things that a lot of people try to do when they start trying to spin some type of yarn is they start giving you information that's not relevant to what they're saying. When somebody's got a whole story and you're like, I didn't even ask for all that. What are you talking about, bro? Well, that's usually a good indicator that people are struggling right now with being able to tell you what's really going on. And here's the thing for me personally, and I think that everybody should strive to be this way. I can handle the truth as long as you tell it. I can handle the truth as long as you tell it. And I think most people can. And the thing about not telling the truth is it's just a cowardly act. When it really comes down to it, the truth is, at base level, just reality. And when we choose not to tell the truth, it's because we're afraid of something not going our way, which means that we're trying to manipulate reality to be how we think it should be, rather than accepting that some people are going to accept us and some people won't, rather than accepting that when we take actions, there's going to be consequences. The reality is that we also have this concept that we think that consequences are all bad. Consequences are simply the result of a set of actions. And as we get better and better with understanding that, we can start to take action on things in order to get the consequences that we want. But oftentimes, we take action in things that we know we have no business doing and then turn around and try to manipulate the situation and the people around us so that they don't see that, or that we can somehow pretend that they're just got the wool pulled over their eyes, But that's just not how it works. What's up, Carson? The more we sit and try to manipulate reality, the more we end up with a big set of just bunch of shit to deal with. And so what I want to talk about today a little bit is just how important it is to recognize that the truth should come before everything. Now, if you're like me, once you really decided that you wanted to start telling the truth all the time, you probably struggled a little bit, because when we have built-in mechanisms, we have built-in behavior patterns that are all fear-based, fear-induced, because anytime you lie, literally it's always motivated by fear, with very, very, very few exceptions. If somebody's dying on the battlefield and they're like, am I dying? And you're like, no, man, it's fine. You're going to make it. I think that's an extenuating circumstance, but I can't think of anything else outside of maybe something like that it's ever okay to lie to somebody. And even then, it's a questionable situation. But I think that it's just so easy for us to forget that it's not something that comes natural to most people, unfortunately. If it did, most people wouldn't be spinning yarns all the time. Most people wouldn't be telling you a whole bunch of information, like I said earlier, that you didn't ask for. Like, oh, it's a cool story, dog, but nobody asked you. Why are you telling me all this stuff? You could have just said, I'm sick, but you have some crazy explanation to go back up with it. Now I'm starting to wonder if that's real or not. The truth don't need a hype, man. You don't need to defend the truth. You don't need to explain the truth. It just simply is the truth, or it's not. And so, really, what I'd like to talk about is the habits that we have to get into in order to tell the truth, in order to be truthful at all times, in order to learn how to actually be truthful. Well, first off, we have to be truthful with ourselves. We have to be willing to actually ask ourselves, is this the truth or not? Am I behaving in a way that's congruent with what I want? Am I creating situations where I'm going to be tempted to lie? Am I creating situations? Yes, sir. I'm filming myself for a YouTube video.
What are you doing?
I'm making a video.
What?
Well, because I make them. Kane's here. I'm watching Kane right now. Yeah, so mommy can watch it later on. If you want to watch, you got to be quiet, okay? All right, thank you. Appreciate you, Bubby. He's adorable. He's got curly hair. But, so like, one of the things that I think we really need to learn how to do in these cases is how to avoid creating circumstances that are going to tempt us to lie. And that means that we have to start living with integrity. And that's its own thing, man. But first, to really, really understand what the truth is, we have to see ourselves realistically. We have to understand that we have blind spots. We have to understand that we don't know things that we don't know. And when I say that, what I mean is you don't even know you don't know them. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. You don't know that you have the blind spots that you have. If you did, it wouldn't be a blind spot. So you have to start taking inventory. I highly recommend writing things down for inventory. It's super powerful. You have to start looking at the behaviors you have. You have to start looking at the results that those behaviors have. You have to start seeing and recognizing the patterns in your behaviors, because once you start to recognize those patterns, all of a sudden, it becomes very clear why the results you have are the results you have. If you start things all the time and quit them, it's very easy to tell why you don't have a level of success that you desire. If you consistently break your diet, it's easy to tell why your health or why your diet situation isn't where you want it to be. But it has to start with you. The truth has to start inside. You know what's real with you, and you know what's not. And I think if you take the time to really examine what's going on in your life, you'll know when things are wrong and wrong. And you'll know when things are right and right, or wrong or right, you know? But what it means is that if you don't take the time to be honest about your motivations, you can't be honest about the way you act about them. You can't change your behaviors without a level of honesty to see who you are. Me? I hate conflict. It's a big thing for me. I fucking hate conflict. I'm learning to love it, but because I don't like it, I'm very tempted to try to manipulate my way out of situations when they come along. I'm learning to consistently just handle conflict as soon as it comes up so that I don't avoid it and create something much worse down the road. And one of my coaches said one time that conflict avoided is conflict multiplied. And I agree with that. I think most of us actually are not very comfortable with confrontation. And a lot of the people that are comfortable with really unhealthy confrontation. So again, this is something I know about myself, and as I've learned that about myself, I've started to realize that if I have a feeling, I need to address it then. If I wait, I will compound the situation by adding more feelings onto it, getting resentful, getting frustrated, maybe trying to hide something. But if I don't handle it then, I'm much more likely to have problems down the road. And this is just the reality of me. We all have these things, man. We all have things that we like to do. We all have things that we don't like to do. And you can't know where your pitfalls lie without you taking the time to be honest with yourself. And so, as I always do, man, I'm going to invite you to write. Just write, man. Write what pisses you off. Write what doesn't piss you off. Write what makes you happy, and just write and write and write and write and write. And then review it sometimes. And you'll start to see patterns. I promise you'll start to see patterns. And those patterns will reveal to you, what you need to be doing. Because it's the truth can't be concealed. It always comes to the light. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, like, you can only put a Band-Aid on that for so long before it's going to bleed through it. You can only pretend like you don't see this huge, glaring problem so long until it starts to become a massive issue. And so let's stop avoiding the conflict with ourselves. Let's start having healthy confrontation and conflict internally so that we can have more peace of mind internally and therefore have more peace of mind and more peace of action externally. And we're going to do that by first learning to tell ourselves the truth. That's how I got clean. I had to look at my results and say, man, I suck at life. I really fucking suck at it. And I'm tired of my actions. I'm tired of my results. I'm tired of me having this constant problem. So here's, just a second, Bubby. Just 1 second. And so, again, my invite to you today, write it down, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Love y'all. Talk to you later.